Hello and welcome to the Daily Royal. My name is Shelby and I have been a royal watcher for the past 10 years. In this podcast, I talk about the daily events of 7 of the European monarchies. So I talk about Belgium, the UK, Denmark, the Netherlands, Norway, Spain, and Sweden. I upload Monday through Friday with occasional bonus episodes here and there. Today we are talking about all of the events from Monday, October 4th of 2021. So, for those who don't know, I don't know how you don't know this because I think everybody is on one of these 3 platforms. Today, the world basically ended. No, it is not that serious. However, Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp all went down, which is awful when you're a content creator. It is your job to put things on those platforms. Also, on the day you launch a new project. So, that was me today. Officially launched Shop the Daily Royal on Etsy. Really exciting. Went to go promote the second item that I had posted. I am trying to get every single piece for the Belgian Royal family out today and online. And then in a couple days we'll do British and so on and so forth. So by the end of, a couple of days, a couple of weeks probably, let's be realistic, everything will be up by the end of October. Like, that is the goal. October is creating the shop and putting it on, everything online, while I continue doing things. So I went to go promote the second item that I had listed, couldn't do it. So got a lot done elsewhere, which is great. But that just really stalled the process, and also posted a new thing, didn't obviously get any engagement on it because Instagram went down for 9 hours or whatever. It was about 9. It was a lot of time, which sucks, but that's okay. So that was my day, but hey, I got a lot of time to get the outline done. The problem is I don't have a ton of pictures yet. I know it's back up, kind of. It's just really slow. I still haven't been able to get into Facebook, and I'm not sure because it's past midnight in Europe. I'm not sure if the pictures that I'm looking for are going to be updated, which is fine. It's just frustrating. It's just been a rough content creation day, and I'm obviously not alone. It just was not a great day for building a brand, which is such a stupid thing to say, but truly, just not a great day. So anyway, we are going to jump in now with the Belgian royal family. Belgium. In Belgium today, there were a few events, one event and then 2 kind of news items. So this morning, King Felipe attended the Science Excellence Awards in Research. So this is something put on by the Research Foundation in Belgium that highlights the work of scientific researchers really for the past 5 years. So this is an award given every 5 years. It was to be given in 2020. So these were the award winners of 2020. However, we are living in a pandemic, so that was not the case. So today, King Felipe presided over that ceremony. This year was the first year a woman won an award, which is, yay progress for women in science fields. That's always exciting. So that was the first big thing. I do want to just say, the organizations, see, this is what happens when only Twitter is up, in terms of doing my research, is I can, really follow, threads and like do a ton of research. Also, like I'm not getting sidetracked or distracted by Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. So the organization, the Foundation for Scientific Research, tweeted out how grateful they were to have King Philippe's support, in that it would bring a light to their work, and the work of science around Belgium. So like, yay, this is literally the point of having royals do this work. That is why like them promoting events and not dealing with the government is such a big thing. So that was the first thing. Then we have the big news item from the Belgian royal family, and I would say like the big news item of the day in terms of all royal families. Today, Princess Elisabeth started her first year at Lincoln College within the University of Oxford. Obviously, this is a big deal just because she is heir to the throne, and it's a new step in her preparation, and also just her journey of life. I am so thankful to the Belgian Royal Household for like recognizing what a big deal this is, and making it such. So they released nine new photos of her at, like walking around the campus, and walking around Oxford. So then she was in like the library, she was in like all of these places kind of like starting the student life. They were all taken later last week or like mid last week. So my guess is she has been there for like a couple weeks at this point. And classes started today. There was a video shot, of her like exploring just kind of where all the photos were from, but just like exploring Oxford, being on a punt, which is a boat, meant for shallow water. So they're very popular in Oxford and Cambridge, which are like the two big school towns in England. And so she was there for that. And like, I just appreciate how big of a deal they allowed this project to be, this like new adventure, because obviously it's a big deal, but I'm grateful that they are recognizing like she is in the spotlight and needs to be seen quite a bit, as she is, approaching her 20s. She turns 20 towards the end of the month. She is the first of this younger generation of heirs to the throne. And like, I think she's really setting the bar really high, but also like setting kind of an expectation for the younger ones that will follow her. So I just appreciate like the way they're doing this. I think it's great. So then that was Princess Elisabeth, but then we also have today was Prince Emmanuel's 16th birthday. So fun fact, there is like a royal baby boom in October of 2005. We have 3 royals turning 16 this year. And so Emmanuel is the first, and then we have some other birthdays throughout, like literally we have like early October, mid-October, and the last day of October. It's fantastic. And also I know social media in like the way it exists now didn't exist this way, but like, can you imagine being a royal watcher like I am in 2005, specifically in October, and like literally every 15 days you're getting a new baby? How fun is that? I think it's great. But now we get birthdays. It's so fun. So they released a new photo, and then a thank you message that just said, thank you for the birthday wishes, which I think is great. Also, he is the only, we'll see what Elisabeth's birthday photo is in a little while, but like of his siblings so far who have had birthdays, he's the only one whose birthday photo is not from the Christmas photo shoot. Everyone else has been part of that. He is not. I don't know when his was taken. It also doesn't seem to be taken with like the school pictures, like the back to school season pictures, so I don't know. But I love it. It was great. So anyway, that is what was going on in Belgium today. So now we are going to move over to the Danish royal family. Denmark. There were no events in the UK, so we are just straight into Denmark, where there were a couple of different things. Today, Queen Margrethe held a public audience. There were no photos and not a ton of information shared. It's just something new and different to talk about. But going forward, I'm not sure how often I'll talk about it, unless it's like there's nothing else going on that day. But there were 2 other events today that Crown Prince Frederik took on, so I'm going to talk about those primarily because there's just no real length of amount of information from these public audiences, which makes me so sad because like I'm genuinely curious as to how these things happen. But we have a couple of different events for Frederik. So first, he attended the inauguration of the new Aarhus School of Architecture, which has been relocated to a new building. So 56 years ago, the School of Architecture was founded and was put into a temporary location that was a former grocery store. It has been there for 56 years, so temporary, I guess, is an interesting word, given that they were there for the entire existence of the school so far. But they have now been moved into a new center that is deemed to be the city's new creative center. It has a name, but it's a Danish name that I'm not even going to try and pronounce. But it is going to be in that building, or is in that building now. And out of the grocery store. So, I don't know, I just think it's really interesting, and, you know, Danish architecture, Scandinavian architecture, it's all very similar. You know, those modern, simple, clean lines, I love. I have a very Scandinavian-esque style in the way I, like, preferred interior decorating. I have, like, a little bit of, like, industrial in there, too, but, like, I very much like clean, simple, basic lines. A lot of my stuff is IKEA or IKEA-like, because I just like that simplicity of Danish lines and structures. And so I love this concept of, you know, creating modern Scandinavian design. So that was his first event of the day, and the one I know the most about. However, I get a lot of my Danish Royal Household information on Facebook. So they don't have a Twitter account, and they don't update their website frequently enough for it to be like the source. It certainly is great to like know what is happening and what happened during the day, or at least what was scheduled, but they don't post things super quickly on the website like they do on social media. That tends to go a lot quicker. So that was a disappointment today because I just really couldn't do the work I needed to do. It's fine, whatever, we survived. So that was the first event. The second event, where Crown Prince Frederik attended the reopening of the Danish Veterans Home in somewhere, a Danish town, I cannot say. So the foundation of veterans homes are centers that support military veterans, their families, you know, veterans who are just needing a little bit of adjustment, or veterans who need much more serious help when they come back. And that is what the centers do. I don't know why this one was reopening. I don't know why it closed. Like, I don't know any of that. I do know that the veteran home website did not list this location as a thing. That doesn't mean it's not. Like, it could just be reopening after it was closed down for some time due to the pandemic. Who knows? Again, this is a Facebook issue where I couldn't get the information. I tried everything I could think of to figure out what was going on. I tried Danish tabloids like that focus on the Royals. I tried seeing if the Veterans Home had a website, or like a website that linked to Twitter. It did not. It only had a Facebook account, which I couldn't check. There are no pictures of the event because they were probably going to be on Facebook, and Facebook was down. So this is just one that I don't know about, not for lack of trying, just for a Facebook having a monopoly a little bit on ways businesses get their information out, including me. Today I really realized how much I rely on Instagram, and am now looking at different ways to branch out, because today was scary, and in terms of oh my goodness, my content, everything I've built was just gone for hours. So, which is fine. Just couldn't really do my job the way I needed to. So I'm looking at different ways to branch out using Twitter, probably TikTok, different social media platforms, Discord server, all the things. So, it was a learning experience today. So that is what was going on in Denmark, and now we are going to move over to the Dutch royal family. The Netherlands. In the Netherlands, there were actually no scheduled events, so I wasn't initially thinking there would be anything to share, but then just in diving in, because everything was shut down, you guys, nothing has taught me more how reliant I am on social media, like Instagram and Facebook, than today, where I got so much more done in my life because those platforms were down, but also really struggled. It's seriously going to be my big topic of the day. It was a hard day. But just in looking at the Dutch Royal House's website, I learned that Queen Maxima today gave a virtual speech at a symposium hosted by the G20 Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion, that talked about coping with the new and old vulnerabilities in a post-pandemic world, focused specifically on finances. So obviously, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted every business that you can think of in one way or another. But these small businesses that receive microloans that are part of this financial inclusion discussion were impacted immensely because of just the world shutting down. However, because of digital tools and things, they have been able to continue in some form or fashion, which is lovely. And so that was the focus of her speech. And again, this was part of, so Maxima, as the UN Secretary General's Special Advocate for Financial Inclusion and Development, serves as honorary patron for the G20 Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion. So she had lots of different hats that she was wearing, and obviously being the Queen of the Netherlands is also a big thing. So that was her event today, but then that is nothing in comparison to, oh my goodness, the Dutch royal family has a new dog. The dog is very cute. The dog's name is Mambo, which is just a really fun name. I can't figure out what kind of dog this is, but it's very cute and fluffy. And they released a new picture, and it was just lovely. The Dutch royal family having a new dog is my favorite thing in the world. Genuinely. Which is so ridiculous, but I loved it. So they released that picture. I will share that picture on the website, thedailyroyal.com, and possibly on Instagram. If I can post on Instagram later tonight, we'll find out. So that is what was going on in the Netherlands today. And In Norway, again, not getting its own segment because there's no information on this event other than King Harald attended a meeting with the Oslo Military Society at the Oslo Military Society. I don't even know what that is. So we'll see. It's one of 3 events this week that we'll probably get no real talking about, but I'll mention it here. So that is what was going on in Norway. So now we will move over to the Spanish royal family. Spain. Spain is, as always, the busiest country of the day because, seriously, those people just work a lot. Okay, so today in Spain, we have King Felipe received the credentials from, of new ambassadors from, let's see, Mozambique, Turkey, Azerbaijan, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Norway. This is like the first one he's done in a while. I remember thinking that even a few months ago, like, oh, Felipe hasn't done an ambassador thing for a long time, but he did today. And obviously he receives quite a few at a time. Still no U.S. ambassador, which is like an ongoing theme for me. We're almost a year into this administration and we have very few ambassadors, which is annoying. I know they all have to get like Senate confirmed, and we have named an ambassador to Spain, but I don't think she's been Senate confirmed, and I think it's a she. She's from the First Lady's office, which is very exciting. But I don't think she's been confirmed yet, and obviously hasn't like landed. But that'll be exciting whenever she gets there. She may be the first female ambassador to Spain. I don't know who the ambassador was from like 2008 or 9, I guess, 2009 onward, until 2013, but since then it's been a man, and I would assume that most of them have been men, just because that's how the U.S. functions. So that'll be exciting, but we'll see whenever that happens. And also, like, that's the case for a lot of places. Like, at some point, U.S. ambassadors will be named, but these aren't, I mean, they're important, but they're not critical postings. I would say the UK is probably the most important of the 7 countries I talk about. And so far that hasn't happened, but like, you know, we'll get there, I think. I don't know. We'll see. It's an adventure. So that was the first event for King Felipe, and then in the evening he attended the exhibition Tornaviaje, which means turn around, at the museum, at the Prado Museum. Sorry, I was going to call it the Museum of Prado, which is not right in English. So this exhibit focuses on art that has come from the Americas to Spain, so Ibero-America primarily, not like the U.S., although, of course, if you aren't super familiar with Spanish history and like the Spanish conquest in the Americas, Spain did control a good part of the southern U.S. for a little while. Like they were colonized that way, like Florida and Texas, and all of that. But so there's some, of course, from there as well, but not a ton, because very quickly the Louisiana Purchase happened, and you know, the states became all of those territories. So that was the second event for King Felipe. Again, Prado Museum. So for the 4th time in 7 days, I talked about this in yesterday's episode. King Felipe met with Javier Solano, who is, I found this out today, because I knew he was involved, but I didn't know quite what the event was, or what his title was. He's the president of the royal patronage for the Prado Museum. So he's like head honcho of the board, essentially. He's very important, powerful person in Spain. So that was King Felipe's day. He has an event tomorrow, and like a lot throughout the week because it's Spain. So that was that. And then also today, Queen Letizia attended the conference on nutrition and health that was organized out of a partnership by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Association, or FAO, as well as ConnectSmart, which is an organization specifically in Spain focused on like the sale of seafood and like other water products. I literally can't think of anything else other than seafood. And that was focused on like the health and supporting that industry. So that is what she was doing. And of course, she was doing this in her context as special ambassador for nutrition with FAO, which I did confirm is accurate. It took, I don't know why it wasn't like boldly noticed on the Casa Real website for her speech that she gave on Friday to the World Food Forum, but it wasn't. So I watched some of the World Food Forum, and just like really like her introduction to learn that yes, she is indeed still special ambassador, which is good. I thought she was, but I like wasn't 100% sure just because Casa Real didn't mention it. So, but then they did today that she was special ambassador. So, you know, lots of different things going on. I don't think she has an event tomorrow, but I could be wrong. Seems kind of weird that she wouldn't, but let's find out. No, she does not. So anyway, that is what was going on in Spain. So now we are going to move over to the Swedish royal family. Sweden. Finishing off today's episode with the Swedish royal family, there were supposed to be just like one event that I probably wasn't going to talk about until tomorrow after the events had concluded. But instead, King Carl Gustaf and Queen Silvia liked to surprise me by being in Scotland today. What? I was literally in shock. So I was like, are we sure? Like, are we 100% sure this is what happened? And yes, they visited a university in Scotland, the University of Stirling, that is working on a research project called Designing Homes for Healthy Cognitive Aging. The project is funded in part by Queen Silvia's Foundation on aging, dementia, and Alzheimer's research, as well as like different ways to care for patients that are experiencing that. So I thought this was like a really cool event, and also something that seems super normal in a pre-COVID world. Like, oh, they're just jetting to Scotland for the day, or, you know, maybe they're taking on more engagements. There's nothing scheduled, and like King Carl Gustaf has stuff on Wednesday, so I don't think they're going to be there that long. But like, what? They just like went to Scotland. It wasn't on the calendar, like nothing. They were just there all of a sudden. So it was a fun little adventure. Crown Princess Victoria is taking part in a like digital forum right now, but they haven't released any information on that. So really we just have the random pop-up Scottish visit, which I'm loving. Also today, I do think there was some level of confirmation about the state visit from Spain to Sweden. Like, I think it's becoming a little more official. Of course, maybe not completely due to the COVID situation in both countries, being a huge factor on, specifically in Spain, whether Felipe and Letizia can really leave the country for a state visit, but I'm hoping for it, like, a lot. Especially, I mean, I know we have the Dutch state visit to Norway that I'm super excited about too. There's just going to be a lot going on in November that I'm really, really excited about. So that is a little bit about what is going on. This is kind of like, not gonna lie, this is the calm week in October. At least for a lot of these countries, October is like a big spike month in terms of events and different things going on. Plus now November is going to be crazy as well. So this is like the calm, and then we're just going to be in a marathon till the holidays, which I'm totally cool with. Kind of. I'm a little worried about keeping up with everything, but hopefully it'll be fine. Like I said, I've been working on getting a lot of systems in place, and I'm feeling really good about that. So yeah, so that's where we're at. I will post all of the pictures and any video that is relevant to thedailyroyal.com. Hopefully I can get it all up on Instagram, The Daily Royal over there. I'm not sure. I've looked through, and Instagram is able to I'm seeing new posts from people, so I think it should be fine. Like, everything should be back up and running. But we'll see. So that's up to date. I have listed everything for the Belgian royal family on Shop the Daily Royal on Etsy. So that is etsy.com/shop/shop the Daily Royal. So please check that out. Lots of different ways to show your support, pride, whatever, in the royal families that I talk about. So that is what was going on today. And with that, I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Bye.